Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. I have a repeat guest today. You guys, if you've been following the show for a while, you're going to recognize him. He was at the January 6th attack on the Capitol. He is not a Trump supporter, though, and he actually filmed the shooting, the killing of Ashley Babbitt. You may have seen him on CNN and elsewhere, but John Sullivan, welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing pretty good. Just a lot of stuff. It's a long ways to wait for your trial, which is I have another case in Utah County. It's been 3 years since
wow.
I've had it. Yeah. So
wow.
yeah,
I was going to ask you about that one too.
Really?
Still hasn't resolved.
No, it hasn't resolved due to discovery. The prosecution wouldn't give us the discovery we needed. And there's like a whole bunch of complications where I had a charge for riot, which is basically there's different levels of riot charge. And so originally what I was charged with was it would have been a Class B felony, but then it dropped down to a misdemeanor. But this was because I decided to basically petition it and ask for a justification hearing on, the reasons why you're charging me with this. Like, we want evidence that you have enough evidence that you can, come after me for this. Basically, the prosecution played a little game and decided to say, hey, we're going to lessen the charges to a misdemeanor. So that way you don't have your justification hearing, because you only have a right to a justification hearing in Utah if you are charged with a felony. So yeah, he dropped it down to that. And so, that waived that. And now I guess I don't have the potential to get a felony, but now I have a lesser charge, which drawed out the trial, which pushed back the trial date. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that way I can have more time to prepare for the evidence that they haven't given us. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. So that's still on the back burner. One thing I wanted to ask you about, of course, is where does your January 6th case stand? Are there any updates that you can give to us?
I mean, it's pretty stagnated. I think a lot of these cases have been pushing through. In my case specifically, I think the January 6th committee has a lot of things that we would like to see, we would like to know, and the Justice Department doesn't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like, they asked, they requested it from the January 6th committee. Like, what do you guys know? Give it to us. Like, we'll work with you in a way, which is quite interesting. Like, I thought, automatically they might have been working together, but it seems like that's not the case, which I think is actually smart, because I think that there is a potential for there to have been insiders from Trump's regime, loyalists in the DOJ that definitely have been inserting themselves to influence certain people from being charged and not being charged. That's my opinion. You can argue that, look at all the other Trump supporters are charged. Who cares about the people? Personally, I don't care about the people about going to the Capitol. Like, that's fine. I want you to go after the people who are actually responsible. I'm talking about, I want Trump himself. I want Rudy Giuliani, like those people.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now, you had mentioned to me that you were considering filing a lawsuit against Rudy Giuliani. Is that still something you're considering, in the works, or can you tell me anything?
Yeah, of course. It's something I'm considering. And I think that I would probably feel more comfortable to fully be aggressive in it when I get acquitted or when I have my trial and they make a verdict. So I think that would weigh even heavier in my favor. And not only that, is many of the allegations that he's come after me for is from stuff in Provo. Like he said, I shot and killed somebody in Provo, which is completely false. Like there's no, like to make this accusation is like, he just conjured it up in his head. Like he didn't look at any evidence. Right. So like there's that. So I would just like Provo to be resolved. So then I'd be like, well, nothing happened there. So you basically lied to everybody and millions of viewers that you have on your channel. You have a responsibility to tell the truth. Not only that, you're a lawyer, so you have a responsibility to tell the truth in that manner. But we all know that he got his license revoked for that very fact.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Him, and then hopefully Linwood is next.
Oh, I pray.
So what specifically is it that Rudy Giuliani, I mean, besides this bogus allegation that he's made about you shooting and killing someone, what is it that you have an issue with him specifically saying about you that you feel is incorrect?
Yeah, I guess if you're talking about more surrounding the January 6th stuff, it would be that I orchestrated a Antifa uprising at the Capitol, that I brought my comrades, all my Antifa comrades, to go and instigate Trump supporters or to try and overthrow the government. I'm like, first off, that logic doesn't make no sense to me, but hey, by all means, like, you do you. But this is like his senileness. Like, I think truly he's very old, up in that age category, and like I can definitely see like some mental cognition issues past the point of that, but maybe that's the excuse.
I think the alcohol also doesn't help.
Is he a heavy drinker? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, from what I've read, he's constantly loaded.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
That's what I've read. I don't have firsthand knowledge, but that's what I've heard.
Makes sense though.
Yeah. And it doesn't even make sense, because if that was true, if you were the leader of Antifa or BLM and that's who was there that day, then why did Trump sit on his ass for hours and do nothing about it? Is he now an Antifa and BLM supporter?
I mean, by what they're saying, they all are, right? Yeah. Like, and I found it funny because like Trump was like, "Oh, I'm going to pardon all of these people who went to the Capitol and got charged." Yeah. Didn't you say they were all Antifa? Like,
yeah. You would think his supporters would have an issue with that, with him pardoning all these Antifa and BLM supporters, but
they don't. They were like cheering him on at that rally.
Yeah. And, just one of the biggest issues I have with people who keep trying to combat what took place that day is, I was there. I know what went down. This narrative that mainstream media is selling is all bogus, all bullshit. You were there too. Did you know that cops were in the West Terrace tunnel being beaten?
I really had no idea what was going on other than my immediate vicinity. It's just
exactly. I mean, the complex is huge. It's massive. There's no way, unless you were there specifically in the tunnel, or standing right outside, you wouldn't know any of that is going on. You can't see everything, It's not like a house. I mean,
you see through the window.
I mean, these people are ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.